So the Cavs are coming off an ugly loss against the New York Knicks. Meanwhile, the Boston Celtics absolutely destroyed the Golden State Warriors the last time they was on the court. No Donovan Mitchell, probably no Max Strus, no Karis LeVert. This game is going to come down to how much can Darius Garland and Evan Mobley step up and try to lead the Cavs to victory? What y'all think?
I think the game actually going to be closer than a lot of people think. I know off the top of your head, you think no Donovan Mitchell, all these guys questionable. You think they ain't got a chance. You think of Boston just beating Golden State the way that they did. You think, oh, yeah, they're going to come here and run the Cavs and it'll be over with. But I think due to the fact that they beat Golden State so bad that they on cloud nine, and I think the Cavs losing that game in the fashion that they lost it in, they going to want to prove something. So this is a game to try to get the fan base to get comfortable with them again. And I think they're going to come out there and try to really put a dominant performance on, especially if certain guys are out. If Porzingis and Jaylen Brown is out, that's more. I think you got enough offensive weapons to be able to do something. Are they still the number 2 defensively in the league?
Boston?
Cavs.
No, Boston is now number 2 defensively.
What are we, 3?
I don't know, actually. I'll double check.
Don't tell me we fell off like that. Just last week we was 2.
I'll look into it. Right now, just to give you a little context on Boston, they're on an 11-game win streak.
Yeah, they are.
Their average margin of victory on this 11-game win streak is 23 points per game. They have 2 wins in this streak by 50 points. They have 4 wins by 28 or more points. Currently in the NBA, they're number 1 in offensive rating, number 2 in defensive rating. When you look at all the teams across the league, it is Boston, then kind of everyone else. That's especially the case in the Eastern Conference. And I was excited, as you mentioned earlier, tonight looked like to be a measuring stick game for the Cavs. When you thought you'd have Donovan and all your starters, Isaac, Max, Karis, we'll see if they play or not. But now I'm looking to see if JB can rally the troops similar to how Thibodeau did on Sunday night. They lose Brunson in the first quarter, a minute into the game, 8 rotation players. It's gut check time, right? Put up or shut up. Earl, you mentioned yesterday, toughness comes from the reflection of your coach. And JB, it's time to see if you can get your guys to rally around and play with that level of intensity and that level of determination to put up a fight against the best team in basketball. Coming off a win against Golden State where at the end of the first half, I had to quadruple check my ESPN app to make sure it was accurate. I thought it was a typo at first. Then I went on Twitter and I was like, all right, they both have to be wrong. Let me go on my physical laptop to check the score. And they were up by 50 points essentially at halftime.
Did Steph hit a 3 that game? Did he?
I do not know if he hit a 3 or not. But all I do know is Boston's playing out of this world right now.
He went what?
He went 0 for 9.
0 for 9? Yeah, incredible job by Jaylen Brown defensively. Drew Holiday, Derek White, really good defenders in their own right. So I'm looking tonight, Jason, to see can the Cavs kind of find something within themselves, play with a little gut and intensity, a little toughness we didn't see on Sunday against the Knicks, and at least put up a fight, compete and contend with a team that, in my opinion, is a step above everyone else in the league right now.
Everything you said is reasonable and makes perfect sense, that they should be embarrassed after that loss. They should come out ready to compete, ready to play. It's all logical. It's a sound argument, and I agree with it. And then I think back to Mitchell Robinson laughing at them last year, and then he came out and did it again. So I don't know. We'll see. But I hope you're right. I hope that this team is embarrassed about the way that they played the other night. They should be. It was a terrible game. Terrible effort, terrible game, terrible loss. And again, like Boston may not be at full strength tonight either. So
who was starting at the 2 when Mitchell's out? Who was the starting lineup?
Strus.
There was Strus
and Okoro
at the start last week, or on Sunday last week.
And when Mitchell was starting and DG and Evan was out, what was that lineup? You know, off the top of your head?
Yeah, it was Strus, Okoro. Wade was starting, right? He was. Yeah, Wade.
And Allen.
To Jason's point about the Mitchell Robinson situation where he laughed at them and then did it again, if the Cavs went and lay an egg tonight.
What? Say it.
I'm not saying I'm throwing in the white flag, but I don't know what it would take to get me to believe back into this team. I'm serious. If they lay another egg tonight, after what happened on Sunday in the embarrassing fashion of which they lost.
It's home. This game is home, right?
Home on national TV again.
Oh, yeah.
After Josh Hart pimps your chain, Earl mentioned yesterday, if that had happened and I was on the bench, like, I'm throwing a punch at Josh Hart. Like, if you don't show some kind of bounce back, some kind of fight, they got, the junkyard dog chain in the locker room?
Yeah,
I throw that shit in the trash can.
That's right.
No, I'm serious. There ain't nothing dog about. Yeah. There's no dog about this team if they come out and they get pounded again tonight. Like, there's no don't laugh. Sorry, that was
crazy.
But there's no excuse on national TV in back-to-back games to get punked. You're supposed to be the second best team in the East.
Yeah.
You got aspirations to win a championship. We've sat on this panel and said this team can compete with any team, including Boston, And now I'm rethinking that same take. And if they come out, a shorthanded Knicks team, just embarrasses you flat out. I know the game was close. The final score was an embarrassing loss, but the fashion in which they lost was embarrassing. If they come out tonight with the same lack of intensity, lack of toughness, and they just frankly let Boston do whatever the hell they want to them on offense and defense, I don't know what it would take for me to buy back into this team. Like the white flag will it'll start be rotating, Tyvis.
You know what it'll take?
What?
Say they went out there and they played this game, right? But Darius was actually like looking to hit like Okoro for open passes, or he drove to the lane and he found Evan Mobley, and they just didn't fall.
That's fine.
That's what I'm saying. And they end up losing by like 15. You'll still be like, okay, they lost,
it's an effort
but
thing. It'll be one of the things you
yeah.
know when you see it. If they let Boston come out and punk them again.
Well, that's a totally different story.
And once again, no, if they lose this game, they lose this game. I'm not saying they have to win this game. I mean, if they
I was saying if they lost by double digits, like if they got smoked.
But shots just didn't fall?
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fine, yeah.
So I'm saying you wouldn't wave the white flag.
No, I'm saying I'm waving the white flag if I come out and I see Peyton Pritchard go off for 36 and 11.
And
cook the Cavs. And if I see Jason Tatum pop Karis LeVert's chain on the bench again.
If that happens,
throw the flag in. I'm trying to think of the equivalent.
Listen to me right now. If Peyton Pritchard go for 36 and Jason Tatum pops Donovan Mitchell's chain,
take the chain off.
I swear on everything on my kids, it should be some type of firing that's going on right then and there. If y'all can't get embarrassed like that twice and just think that that's okay and think that the fans is gonna be behind y'all, coach better get fired. Some players better get cut. Something. You better go. What's the dude off of did y'all watch Winning Time?
Yeah.
Did you see season 1 where they went and got the one dude, Wood Harris character?
Woody Harrelson?
No, Wood Harris.
I didn't see Winning Time.
Oh my God, they ended up getting the dude that was stealing on people on the court. They had the dog guy. Anyways, go get Meta World Peace and get him out here. Make a long story short, go get World Peace.
My point is that it doesn't have to be if they lose by 12, I'll be okay. Lose by 13, I'm freaking. You'll know it. It'll be a situation, you'll know it when you see it. And if it's another lackluster effort and they kind of just, we don't have Donovan, we don't have Max, we don't have Isaac, whatever, like, I'll have a hard time ever believing this team will have it when it matters.
I'm officially, I think I'm Adam the Bull right now. I think I don't really have no motivation to watch them anymore. I really don't. I think I'm gonna wait till the playoffs.
Jason, how do you feel on that? Am I being a little too harsh?
No, but it's March 5th, and if they lose this game, when the playoffs begin, everyone's still gonna pick them to win.
Oh,
they are.
Everyone
around here
pick them to win what?
The series.
Against
whoever they play. If they're a 2 or 3 seed, whoever they're playing, they're more than likely most people are going to pick them to win.
If they're the 3 seed and they play Indiana in the first round, right?
I would take them to win that.
Indiana can score.
I just couldn't take them seriously as a legit contender.
Now, if they play Philly in the first round,
I'm taking Philly.
Actually, right now, the 3-6. The 3-6 would be them Orlando right now. I would take them over Orlando. But Miami 7. Would take them over Miami right now?
Probably not. It's Miami.
So you see what I'm saying?
But whatever happens tonight is not going to have any bearing on how I feel about them in April.
But if they lay a mental egg, and I'll phrase it like that. I just maybe I did a bad job phrasing this.
There's no way.
I could not ever see. I don't want to say ever. I have a very hard time seeing myself buying back into this team, being mentally tough enough to compete in a postseason series if your response to what happened against New York on Sunday is another dud.
Yeah. That's why I said earlier, just go back and look at what happened last year, where Mitchell Robinson was laughing at you in the locker room. And I thought for sure they would come out and show some sort of fight. Nope. They did it again. So that, part of it, this is who they are.
I don't want that to be true,
This
Jason.
is who they are.
Jason,
either.
Stop saying that. I don't want that to be true.
But again, that's where I think, and I don't want to make too much of Tristan because I don't want to make this Danny Green last year. I kept saying you got to play Danny Green because you got nobody else, and Danny Green didn't help him either because Tristan's at the end. But at least Tristan will bring the fight.
That's true.
Tristan will bring the fight to you. And if Tristan was out there when that chain popping went on, there had been other popping going on.
Is Tristan when you suspended, you can't even come to the game?
No. You're around the team for practice and stuff.
But you can't. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what games he got now? He got
7 or 8.
Yeah, mid-March he's back.
7 or 8.
Oh.
Before this stretch is over, he's back, but it's in the middle of this stretch. Like I said, they got 5 games in the next week. They got tonight, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. 5 games in the next week.
I don't want that to be true, Jason.
It's a sobering reality.
It doesn't.
I can say
it was true last April. It doesn't mean it has to be true now. We just need some sort of evidence to show that it's.
Well, the evidence is not
changed.
great because
no.
the only evidence we got is Chicago and Knicks.
Yeah.
Well, we did have a little precursor evidence when we saw Donovan go after Zach Collins against San Antonio. We saw a little bit of fight when Jared Allen went after Ben Simmons in Brooklyn.
But
once again, those
threw
are
Ben threw him to the ground like it was nothing.
But at least he did something.
Man,
At least he showed some sort of retaliation.
he should have took the fine. Did he get fined for that?
I don't remember.
Because
Probably.
I would have just took a fine.
I don't think so because I think I'd remember and have heard about it if he did. I don't think he did.
I feel like Jared Allen's never been fined in his life.
He needs to be.
Just walk up and punch somebody tonight.
Yeah.
We have to be.
You know what? I'm not opposed to it. I don't even promote violence.
Kidding.
I don't even promote violence.
You can't just try and act tough just to act tough.
Come on,
like,
man.
It
that
comes
ain't
off
gonna
so
get-
phony.
Yeah, that ain't gonna get you anywhere. It's answering the moment. It's answering the moment with physicality when it's called for. That's what I think you're looking to see.
dunk on somebody.
He can dunk on people.
He does dunk on people.
What?
That's not the right answer.
Dunk on him and then you stare him down.
Has he got a tech this year?
No, he ain't never got a tech in his life. He probably,
don't know.
you know,
He's a good
he'll
player.
dunk on him and say, "I
Good player.
apologize."
He is a very. I want to be very careful here because Jared Allen has had a very good year.
Yes.
He's had an excellent coming off of what he
Would you
the
pay him?
embarrassment of the Knicks.
He's already paid. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, he got
3
paid
years
when
left.
he got here.
Yeah.
Coming off the embarrassment of
2
the
years
Knicks series, he had some rebuilding to do, and he's a wonderful NBA player. Is he Kendrick Perkins down low? He is not. But he is a very skilled big man who is very good at what he does.
Okay.
And like I don't want to start dumping all over Jared again because he took a lot of abuse and rightfully so in that Knicks series because it was a terrible series for him. He's a very good NBA
He did
player.
that to himself when he made his statement.
Oh, the lights are too
yeah,
bright.
He didn't do himself any favors with that. But
that was just.
we were
icing
on
the
set doing the show when he said that, and my head separated from my body.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Still to this day, I deny that he actually said. I thought it was like one of them made
it
up
was real.
quotes.
It
I
was
need to
real.
go actually check the audio on that.
No, it was real. Real quick, this will not happen. I'm just throwing this out there because I think it'd be hysterical. Not real, very fake scenario. And then we'll move on, Earl. But we know JB's going to shrink his rotation to 8, 9 tops in the postseason, right?
Yeah.
Imani Bates.
What if?
Oh Lord,
What if
need some Advil.
JB felt so much pressure that he felt if they didn't win at least 2 playoff series, his job was gone. So he did something radical and was like, Kobe. Once again, this is stupid. This is I think it'll be funny.
Way to clear that up.
I just want to make sure before anyone clips this, this is stupid. Just never gonna happen. He goes to Kobe and goes, Niang's not playing in the playoffs. Cut him. Ty Jerome, cut him. Craig Porter Jr. not playing, cut him. I want Perk. I want Meta World Peace. I want bring back the bad boy Pistons who was I want John Sally. And you just assembled a goon
Sally's
squad.
64
I don't
years
give a crap.
old.
You assembled a goon squad on the end of your bench that God forbid anyone pops his chain again. It's sight unseen. It goes down. You got the biggest, baddest, the monsters of former NBA brawlers. Who else?
DeMarcus Cousins.
I want the Morris twins.
There's
I want the
free
Morses.
agents.
I don't know. Get them. Find a way. I want the dude on Indiana that does jiu-jitsu, James Johnson, who could kick a basketball. I want a goon squad on my bench. Cut the whole charge.
Well,
Sign every goon that ever existed.
the problem
I want him on my bench.
The
for the
problem
postseason.
is,
I dare you to start something with Donovan Mitchell with those guys sitting next to him.
I mean, they would. Their whole team would
Hell,
be.
fire Luke Walton. That's where John Sally, assistant coach. Bring back Ben Wallace. High as he wants to be. Bring back anyone you
Did
want.
somebody say that they sold him a bag?
Yeah,
in
that's
the
why-
comments.
yeah.
They said that when Bill Wallace was here, they sold
That's a
him
joke. I'm clearly joking. Do not cut that. That's clearly a joke, but
They
You
gonna
realize these men are in their 50s and probably can barely move today.
I don't care. Put Arnold Schwarzenegger on the bench.
You just need
Let's just
attitude.
add everybody.
I think you got it with Tristan when Tristan comes back.
Let's hire John Jones. You want to start a fight with the Cavs when you got heavyweight UFC champion
Boxer.
John Jones on the bench? Not going to happen. All right, Earl, let's get a read. Let's move on to our next topic.
Meet him in the parking lot.